I have zero idea how I'm gonna do this editing, but I think it's a really nice video to do because like most people, I've been watching Dave Ramsey. Well, most people, I guess, in the credit card game, or not in the credit card game, in the finance game. He has some incredible information. I believe that his system for most people, especially the ones that are really in a bad situation, is great. But there's always something that I struggle with, and I'm assuming that if you know Dave Ramsey, you know what I'm talking about.
Hi guys and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel, we're talking about points, credit, we're talking about points, bonuses, and travel. Why do I need to say that? I would like to say something smarter. Like what's smart about credit cards?
No.
We're talking about points, credit cards, bonuses, and travel. If this is something that interests you, please like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Bravo.
So in this video, I'm gonna give you my opinion about Dave Ramsey's view of credit cards and points. And as you can imagine, we don't agree on this one. But who's Dave Ramsey? Dave Ramsey is a celebrity on YouTube. He has his own channel. For most people, he gives incredible information. I think following his plan, his advice is probably the best thing you can do. He has what he calls baby steps, and there's 7 baby steps. The baby step number 1 is save $1,000 for your emergency fund, or start with it. Baby step number 2 is pay off all credit card except the house using the debt snowball. Now, debt snowball, there's 2 ways to do it. One is to go with paying the highest interest debt that you have and then go down from that point, or you can pay off the smallest amount of debt you have and then use that money that you save from those payments to pay bigger and bigger and bigger debts as you go. And this is a method I used, even though mathematically it doesn't make the most sense. It's the one that psychologically makes the more sense because it gives you little wins. So it gives you nice milestones that are achievable. So this is the one I did when I was in debt. So incredible advice. Baby step number 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. So you start with $1,000, but then it says 3 to 6 months of expenses. And I guess technically this is where I am really, although I am working on baby step number 4, which is invest 15% of your household income in retirement. I'm not exactly at 15%, but getting close to it. Baby step number 5, save for your children's college fund. Didn't start that yet. Baby step number 6, pay off your home early. Don't own a home, so I guess not. Baby step number 7, build wealth and give. I think you can give regardless your situation. I mean, unless you're really out in the streets, there's always something you can do about people. So there's no reason to wait to become rich and financially independent to give back to people. And then when you do, don't do a TikTok about it. That's my advice. But without any further ado, let's see the video that inspired this video.
Today's question comes from Diane in Arizona. My husband and I are in baby step 2 and are working hard to pay off our debt. The one issue we struggle with is not using credit cards. We use them to pay our utilities, groceries, and other monthly bills, but we never carry a balance. By doing this, we're able to travel for vacations for free using our points. What's wrong with doing this if we're not going into more debt? The age-old question, Dave.
Now, this is where Dave Ramsey would go crazy because she says that they're still paying off debt, and then she's thinking about using credit cards to go on vacation. And you will see what he says.
So we should clue in Bank of America and Chase what portion of their marketing is working the best. And it is this crap.
The vacations. The points.
This is the one. This is the one that's got people believing in stupidity still.
The main issue here is mentality. Yes, you have debt. Yes, you're right that you can travel technically for free using credit cards because you're already paying everything that you say. You pay utilities, groceries, whatever you pay. But at the same time, instead of thinking how you're going to pay off your debt faster, you're thinking how you're going to go on vacation. Like, this is a mentality issue, and hear what Dave Ramsey has to say about this.
The vacations, the
Yeah.
points.
This is the one. This is the one that's got people believing in stupidity still after all this time.
Yeah. And here's what happens, and you can listen to the true cost of credit card rewards. This is the second fine print episode that we released, and we dug into this with an ex-Capital One insider.
Okay, what did they say?
She said they run 10,000 experiments a year on people to figure out what's going to get them to spend more, to use the points. And one of the biggest ways they do it is through the points. Because you know how the points work. They don't say it's $500. They say you're going to get 128,000 points that you can use to redeem flights that cost $74,000. And the points change every day. And there's blackout dates and there's restrictions.
Well, first of all, most credit cards now offer flights with no blackout dates. Let's start there. The other thing I see is that they're talking about the thousands of points, and that's very true. Psychologically, this tricks you very well. I talk to people and I tell them I have, 200,000 points, and they go cuckoo. They're like, oh my God, what are you going to do with all this? If you think about it, it's like 2-3 tickets, depending where you go. So it's not that much, but at the same time, you do get outsized value.
And on top of that, the whole 2% cashback, that one is one of my favorites. Because you know what 2% of $1,000 is?
$20.
$20 to spend 1,000, and that's not a great deal.
So let me get this straight. If you spend $10,000, you get $200.
Ding, ding, ding.
That'll make you rich.
Yeah.
Spend 10,000, get 200. That's a formula for wealth building right there.
Yeah. We did an analogy.
Did you people go to grade school?
Okay, they're making fun of 2% cashback credit cards, saying that spending $1,000 is going to give you $20 back. Is it better to pay with debit card or cash and get $0 back? I'll get 20 over 0 any time of the day. If I spend 10,000, I get 200. What's wrong with that? If you use that for travel, it's about $400. So why not? So yeah, nobody said, and certainly in this channel, I never said that you're going to get rich by using these credit cards. I put numbers out every year. You will see that actually the last video for last year, my valuation dropped. I didn't make as much as I thought because I overexpanded. I spent too many different credit cards. That was a mistake I did. I need to consolidate a little bit. But even last year, I got about $4,000 value. And the years before that, with sign-up bonuses, I got over $5,000. So it's not $10, $20. It's thousands of dollars in some cases, and especially when you travel.
Listen, Diane, here's the thing. We did this analogy in the podcast about Chuck E. Cheese. Because this is what it reminded me of, Dave. You go to Chuck E. Cheese,
Oh my
and
God,
Dad
it
gives you a
is.
$10 bill, and you get these coins.
It's the claw on Toy Story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you get your coins, and you're so excited to spend those coins that you spent $10 on, and you go and you get all the tickets, and you get 400 tickets, and you go to the table at the end of the day, and you go, wow, I can get any prize. And they go, no, you get sticky hands and a pack of gum. And you go, wow, I spent $10 for sticky hands and a pack of gum.
That cost a quarter.
Yeah, and you go, I got screwed.
Okay, the Chuck E. Cheese, I understand where they're going with this, but it's a bad analogy because what really happens is that your kid goes to Chuck E. Cheese and plays and have fun and does a bunch of activities there. You like it or not, that's your opinion. But the reality is that the price you pay is not for the sticky hand and a gum. It's for the experiences, for all the activities that your kid does and all those toys there or the rides. And then on top of that, they get that sticky hand and a gum. Yes, I assume that they add everything to the price. So it's not like they're going under to give you that sticky hand and the gum. But at the same time, it's not fair to say that you're paying $10, $20 for that when really you pay that for the rides at Chuck E. Cheese. So yes, I understand where you're going with that, but it's not right.
Yeah, I think.
So here's the thing. I don't have big buildings, Dave. The credit card companies do. They're sponsoring every stadium in America, and they're doing it with billions of dollars that they're making off of the backs of these people who are overspending.
Like you.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's the thing. To start with, you're not going on vacation for free. That is an absolute asinine, stupid statement. It is not true.
No, it's not. I actually went to Costa Rica. I paid $1,800 from all the food and all the drinks I had, which I would have anyway. I didn't pay anything for flights, and I paid pennies for hotels. And after I did all that spending, I almost have enough points to go back and stay another night at a 5-star hotel. So that's wrong statement, period.
You might have got your airline ticket for free, but everything else on the vacation was not free. So you're spending money and you're going on vacation when you should have been working because you're in debt. You're not supposed to be going on vacation when you're in debt.
100%. If you're in debt, you're not supposed to go on vacation. You're not supposed to do anything. Actually, to get out of debt, I was eating rice and beans for months. Forget the vacation. For months, I was eating rice and beans. So yes, vacation is deep, especially if it's credit card debt. 100% I agree with Dave Ramsey in this one.
We follow everything you say. No, you don't. You don't go on vacation when you're in debt, and you don't go out to eat when you're in debt. You work and you work and you work and you clean your dadgum debt up. And that's the Ramsey plan. Now you can say you could go do your plan if you want, but don't say you're doing my plan when you're going on vacation, because it's just not true. And here's the thing. The arrogance that is required, the intellectual arrogance that is required for you to think that you are taking on billion-dollar companies who have algorithms that know what bottled water you drink, and you are somehow beating them, and you're fleecing them. You're getting an airline ticket, and it doesn't cost you anything. You really are pretty arrogant to think that you're actually winning at this game.
It's not arrogance. What happens is this. MSNBC actually has a great video about this, and they're talking how many people, about a third, depending on the year, a quarter to a third of people don't use these points anyway. Half of them carry balances. So yes, if you carry balance, if you don't use your points and you have them there seasoning for years, of course you're losing money. And it's this kind of money that people like you and me are using to travel for free. We are not cheating the system here. We're not outsmarting the banks. It's people that don't watch videos like this, that don't use their points or don't get points, or don't pay off their credit cards every month, that pay these banks. And those banks are paying us to do whatever they're not doing. So we have to thank all these people that don't take advantage of their points, that have balances on their credit cards, because they're the ones giving us their money to travel. Unfortunately, that's the tough truth. The thing is this, that all these places that you go to eat, to have that little machine, that POS system, to charge your credit card, they pay Visa, they pay American Express, they pay Discover, so you can use that credit card. That cost is already built into the product you're buying. If you don't use a credit card, you're not getting anything back, but you are paying for that machine that they're using, because the price is already built in the product. So it's up to you to give them a free gift or get something for it.
I mean, honestly, do you understand that when Citibank, when you call them, your zip code is pulled off your NSX code, and the person answering the call, if it's a friendly call, is a person of the same accent as you? If you call from the South, you'll get a syrupy Southern Belle accent. And if you call from the wicked Northeast, you'll get a wicked Northeastern accent.
I never got a Greek accent.
These people screw with you on levels you have no idea, and you think you're beating them.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. So here's the thing. We did a study of millionaires. We studied 10,000 of them, 10,167. Not a single one told us, we became millionaires with our free vacation points because we ran all our utilities, our groceries, and everything else through a credit card, and then we went on vacation for free, and it didn't cost us anything, and that's how we built our wealth. Not one said that. Isn't that odd?
For the context that Dave Ramsey is talking about building wealth, of course not. You're not going to become rich by using points. 100% true. But nobody that uses points thinks that they're getting rich by using points. And I think that's well established. We all just try to have some fun that we normally would pay, and that's all. As we talked in other videos, you need to have money to spend in order to get value. And that MSNBC video I mentioned earlier says that actually people with lower income or lower education don't use their points, are the ones that typically don't use their points. And I assume part of it is that they don't have the money to take advantage of those points, because you're going to need to spend some money in the end of the day regardless. So if you don't have money to use them, then you're not going to use them. And the other thing is this, that when you have inflation that runs at 9%, being able to get 5% on something, it leaves you with an inflation of 4%. And this is when you do cash back. If you're planning to actually travel somewhere and you would do it regardless of the situation, then you're looking at about 10%, 8, 9, 10%. So you're beating inflation at least in some way.
Diane, so here's the thing. People that ask this question are people that think they're beating the system. Let me tell you how you beat the system. You don't play.
Don't play the system. I know where he's coming from, but you have to play the system. It's like you're invited to play Monopoly and you say, I'm not going to play with Monopoly rules. I'm going to play with Scrabble rules. It just doesn't work this way. And the best thing about US is exactly that system. There's the same system that can destroy you. It can build you up. Coming from a European country, I can tell you this. If you don't have anything, it's mission impossible to get something. You go to a bank and they say, how much do you have in the bank? What can you give us as collateral? So if you don't have already something, it's impossible to give you something. And how are you going to build something? You're going to work with the salary and save all that money to build something. That's mission impossible. I mean, I don't want to go to the other side altogether and go to what Robert Kiyosaki would teach. And if you're not familiar, Robert Kiyosaki says that everything should be in debt. Debt is tax-free. Debt is the best thing that can happen. And he always wants to have debt. And I understand where he's coming from, but I would never be that person because I'm just getting too stressed thinking that I have debt, even in the smallest amount. But at the same time, you can't tell me that you're just getting a few credit cards. You build credit and all of a sudden the bank will loan you $500,000 to buy a house, and that's not incredible for somebody that's financially responsible. This is the best thing after sliced bread.
You know what it's like? It's like being a mouse in the maze, and you get to the cheese and you think, I won, I got the cheese. And you zoom out and you go, no, I'm just a part of a giant social experiment that exists to take my money. That's what it is.
Ooh.
So you can play that game, and that's fine. You can get your vacations, but I'm not in the business of trying to gain points. I'm trying to gain wealth. I want to complete the baby steps. I want to pay off my house. I want to give outrageously, and that doesn't happen by paying off my card every month and reaping the benefits of 2% cash back.
I doubt that this guy doesn't have any credit cards. I bet you if you look at his wallet, he has at least 5.
You know the Chuck E. Cheese thing's funny as crap.
Oh, it's great. The team did a great job with the edits. We got the coin sound and everything. You got to go listen
come
to
out of there, skee ball or whatever. They're just coming out of there like crazy. You got this long line of tickets, and your little kid, they think they're getting the big prize, and you get
You
nothing.
never get the big prize.
Nothing. You spent $10 to $20 to get a prize that costs less than 50 cents.
And the same thing's happening when you go to book these flights and you go, well, we can go to Boise.
Try Greece. Try Costa Rica. Try London. It's not Boise. Either they're lying or they don't know what they're talking about. So here's that.
Yeah, I don't think Martinique was on the list, was it?
No, you're not going to the Bahamas first class.
I don't think.
I'm sorry.
No, so Belize and Bermuda are not on the list.
No.
Not true.
San Diego's not on the list. Nashville's not on the list.
No.
It's blackout.
Blackout dates.
What's blackout mean? They don't go?
Don't get to go.
Oh, no, they just won't take you. That's what it means.
I think you can do a lot better by using a debit card and using cash and saving up for your own dang vacations.
Yeah, you know where I go on vacation?
Anywhere you want.
There you go. That's how that works. And, you know, when I use those credit cards, that always works. So
That's how it happens.
I haven't had a credit card in, my gosh, it's coming up on 30 years.
Wow. We should have a party.
We should.
We can't use points to pay for the party, though.
In
That's the
Belize.
problem. In Belize.
30 years at 5% at his level of income, he probably lost tens of thousands of dollars worth of points. Whatever. I mean, he doesn't need it, obviously, but this poor guy that sits next to him, he's probably on salary, and he gives him like, I don't know, $60,000, $70,000 a year. and he's not getting any points if he says the truth. I feel sorry for him, honestly. I mean, overall, Dave Ramsey is right for many things, but when it comes to credit cards, I think he's completely wrong. Maybe for his crowd, because most people that call him are already in financial problems. It's not for them. Obviously, the lady here, Diane, that called or emailed, she says that they're still working on paying off debt, and what's wrong for getting credit cards to go on vacation. I mean, you're looking for trouble, lady. I mean, I would never do that. As I mentioned, when I was in debt, I did everything I could just to pay off. I wouldn't even eat proper food. So yeah, I hear where Dave Ramsey comes from with this. But in every other case, when people are already debt free and they're responsible, pay off credit cards on time, there's absolutely no reason not to use credit cards. But let me know what you guys think. I think I know what you think. What do you think about Dave Ramsey? If you ever saw his videos, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next one. Ciao. Spend everything on your credit card. Pay off every month.